Nathalie, thank you so much for being here. She's your Senior Digital Director for STMicroelectronics. She's just back from Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. She was having a great conference there. Thank you so much for being here. Nathalie has worked within the digital industry for 15 years, specializing in integrated campaigns management, content marketing, and digital strategy. She is in charge of digital marketing programs at STMicroelectronics, where she developed the ST Online ecosystem in 2016 by launching the blog, the mini site on Internet of Things, and last but not least, I love this, the external community for our users, customers, developers, universities, and partners. So much work, right?
Yeah, it was a busy year.
This community program implied to federate our executives, employees, and partners around a completely new approach to interact together. Wow, this sounds like a wonderful program. So thank you so much. The floor is yours. I think, yes, the clicker is still mine, but I'm going to give it to you. That's it. Do we have her presentation ready? Wow.
Yeah. So first, thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me after Laura. I don't feel any pressure, so let me start. I'm not sure. Okay, let's see how many. I want the result because I'm not. Thank you very much. So yes, I'm back from Vegas. Just to tell you, it was professional, okay? I cannot tell you everything because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas usually. But on the professional side, there was a Jive World, which is one of the leading platforms for community, internal and external, and I was inviting there because you will guess that it's a community we launched and based on this platform. So I'm just back, so I hope I will be okay. So I will talk about how we can engage employees in communities for external community success. First, who we are, because we are not a very famous company. But we are global. We have a worldwide presence with 43,500 employees worldwide, mainly engineers. If we talk about women, let me count. Out of the 43,500, there's really not a lot. I'm very often the only woman in the room. So I'm happy today. I feel it's a little bit strange for me. Our headquarters is in Plan-les-Ouates. So it's very close to here. So we have quite a number of people. What it's important, so we have many engineers. This is important for the community. I will talk about it. And we are, yeah, as you see here, a lot of sales and marketing and offices. This is what we are doing. Let me find out the little things here. These little ICs, you have us for sure in your mobile phone, in your car, in your laptops, in your TV, in factories. We are in every IoT, famous, non-famous applications, but we don't really necessarily talk about it because we want to have our customer first, which is important for what we are doing with the community. So why did we need this community? So first, let me share this. This is a nice example of our previous forums, which were on SharePoint, I don't know which version, but a very old one. Very technical, out of date, very few features. Here you have our product line. So the first reason and the first question was, okay, we need to replace and be up to date with our platform and have something up to date. But not only, in fact, because if I take one example, this is one of our key products. It's a microcontroller. I will not enter in the detail, don't worry, about our technical product, but this is a microcontroller. We have sold 2 billion of this microcontroller worldwide. It's everywhere, and I will share some nice example of applications that were done at our last Maker Faire that we were present. So application you might not be aware of, like flying fish, electric guitars, and the little robots here. So here this is a Maker Faire. So not only we wanted to replace our old communities that I showed previously, our old forums, we wanted to showcase what our customers were doing with our products, be it serious or less serious. So what were the challenges we really were having? First, as I said, we were a very big company. We have thousands of different products, which means they have different constraints, different audiences. People, our customers, our users are looking for different things to learn about how to use it, but they need to exchange around either hardware or only software. Or they just need something, how to put it on the board, and that's it, no real detailed questions. So very different products with very different audiences. Also, in a big company like ST, we have many stakeholders, and for me, being in the digital marketing team, it's really all the divisions and groups who are selling these products and want to promote them. They have different needs and expectations in terms of what they want to showcase and what they want this community to be. And what it means also is they have a very different understanding of what is a community. For us, it can mean many, many different things. So, sorry. Sorry about this. The self-promotion mindset really comes... I am really, really, really sorry. And I have to say, I really apologize about it. My good. I need to count. I think, yeah, I usually do at least 5 of it. Yeah. So self-promotion mindset, which is not the self-apologize mindset, it's the other one. We are used to push our products, and our engineers really want to push their products because we are not very well known, and it takes a lot of time to develop our product. Just to give you an idea, it can take between 3 to 5 years. So, I mean, a lot of efforts, a lot of money as well. So they really want to promote. And here it was about our users. So it was for us a shift, something as I've shown you, it was before forums where we were answering technical questions. So we had to shift this mindset. And as I said in the first slide, we are mainly engineers. And this has this importance. When a company is mainly engineers, we all like to play with software. So we think more about all the features the software has and what we can play and how we can enjoy it than about what our users are expecting to see from the community. And then we had less than 3 months just to make it a little bit fun. And we started in August, which is, as we are a French-Italian company, August is the month where there are the maximum people in the company. So it was also one of the nice challenges we encountered. So how can we involve the right people and make sure, the question was, how can we involve the right people and bring one and only community for the company based on all these different challenges? First, in fact, it's not one project. In fact, it's a phase project. And it starts well before the definition of the community. It starts already when we are defining why we need it and how we want our users to do it. Here we had the key division involved, which is the one I discussed around the STM32 because they were really the one most advanced. Myself, and what did we do? Really the competitors' community analysis, and as well as the key objectives and need identification. Why the competitors' analysis? It was really to understand what an engineer who is using our products is also using our competitors' products. There's never an application with one single, unfortunately. We are working on it, but not close. So people needed to find the same environment. I mean, it's like when you go on a website, you know that things are to be somewhere. You need to have a kind of experience, which even if it's different, you have some things where you can really recognize and act very quickly. And in terms of the key objectives, this was, I mean, okay, we're not entering detail, but it was really key to define what we needed our users to do, share their projects, find technical answers, and our universities and partners. So this is the first step. And as I said, it's very important because people who you involved before, we stay involved and follow up through the project. In terms of the platform identification, so okay, now you know I'm back from Jive World, so we choose Jive. But key division, we also included top management once we had made the choice based on the comparison of supplier versus requirements. This is something which is very important, not for them just to give the budget. It's also when you need to launch a community in such a company, you need to have the buy-in from the top management. You need to have them allocate resources. You need to have them support your project. Otherwise, 3 months after, you're nowhere. Okay, we made it, but it's very important to have them supporting and understanding as well, because as I say, it was a big shift in the company. It was not answering technical questions. It was bringing our users on board. And this is something new, and you know, it can be difficult for some company to accept, okay, what will they say? Will they criticize our product? Will they complain about some other things? So it's very important to have the management support in order to be sure that all the company is really supporting. While all the legal and financial people are finalizing the nice step of a contract between two big companies, which give a little bit of time, we started to identify internal ambassadors. And on this is not necessarily people we first thought, because of their function, that they should be involved. It's people, they really like it. They really like the idea of ST launching a community. They are already active. They understand it. They are very enthusiastic and curious. And why it's so important, it's because in such a short time frame and with such a big company, it's very important to have internal ambassadors who will explain why it's important, who will help us to really explain to people why it's important, what it is, how it should work, and communicate internally. So some of them were part of the team that I will show you, some of them were not, but they are still very important in terms of internal communication and creating dynamism inside the company around this project. Then, because we had these nice old forums existing, we already had some people involved, which were called moderators, but they were only answering, not that it's a little job, but I mean, the part of what moderator was at this time was to answer technical questions in less than 48 hours. Now moving to a new platform, it's not exactly the same. It's bringing users to answer to other users. So it's still moderators, but there is a shift in what it is. So we need to involve them or change the people based on the role. And we also need to involve new people because this is not only a support platform anymore, but involves the marketing people in order to fine-tune the different use cases and also think about how we will bring users on board. What we will do to make them come, how we will involve them, which, as I said previously, is really a new approach for us. Then we had the setup phase, which is around this 3 months period where we had to set up everything, define how we use the software we choose, and implement the use case. On here we have the use case, the function, and we need to fine-tune because they were the first approach, and then when you have to implement, you really rethink everything and you change a little bit, and you need to be prepared to change. The content is a key part on us. For ourselves, we have the transfer of the data. If you already have some data and you want to transfer them, for us it was simple to some extent, but it's not that easy, and it cannot be underestimated. It's a huge effort, and for this we had the support of our IT team to help us on this part. And the program management. It was a big project for us. We needed to be agile. We only had 3 months, and at the same time we couldn't fail. So it was very important to follow through and deliver on time, so program manager should be part of it as well. I will explain a little bit more about how we organize for this internal phase. So the global program coordination, which of course ensures the right people in the company are all on board. Then we have a core team, and the core team was with some of the marketing and people involved in the previous phases, as well as bringing on board new divisions and groups in order to share with them the best practice, to explain what it is we wanted to do, and even if they were not ready necessarily to use all the features, at least to understand and plan for it, or understand what they will use for what. And at the same time, we wanted it to be very agile. So, I mean, with 43,500 people in a company or on such a project, you can very quickly end up with 500 people in the same meeting. And you don't want this because you can do nothing. So you really need to keep small teams and bring them. So for each use case, what we did is name as one of the core team member as a coordinator. And they were doing their each use case dedicated meeting with the right people. It was allowing us really to be agile and to be really, at the same time, focused and have the right people involved at the right moment. So we had 3 use cases, and we had an external consultant because we didn't have a community manager. So as part of the Jive program, they helped us set it up, and there was an external consultant who really helped us and act as a community manager. So one of the nice things as well, I have to say, was they forced us to use Jive already. We are a very email-oriented company. And here we had to use a platform, and it made us think about how we users will live through it, because we were using it through the program. So we really understood what will happen when the users will come, and it's also something which is really important. This is a dashboard because we started with a kick-off meeting with all the stakeholders. So there were 30 people in Rousset. It's near Aix-en-Provence, nice place. We have offices in nice places, not always, but sometimes. And this is what we ended up at the end of the day, and as you will see, it's very close to what we launch. One of the key things in the community for us was to define who will do what and what does it mean. So we had to create the new role of community manager, and I'm looking still for a community manager. I'm saying this just like this, but still have a job open, plan les what, can discuss. It's very nice launching a community, so if anybody interested, just saying. The goal is really to share best practice around our different groups and divisions, and really, of course, the community management of the discussion, launching, bringing people, and doing the reporting. We have in each divisions and the moderators, so they are making sure that if a question is not answered by other users, at least it answered, because they need to, our customers need to go ahead with their application. And the marketing, where really we are still doing a lot of effort for them to have a strategy dedicated for each of their products line, which is very different between a microcontroller and the more basic products. So they all should take ownership of their product line strategy now that we have created a framework which allows them to live. But it's up to them to decide how they want to have their customer interact and bring the right partners. Yeah, we encountered some pain points, I have to say, surprisingly. Yeah, it was very easy. The first one is, as I say, Jive features, nice. We are engineers, we can play many features, yeah. But it's not the goal. We had to shift to focus on what our customer will want to do, how we can bring them, what were the contents they were expecting, and how we should, what we really needed to achieve. So everybody wanted the admin rights. I will do everything. No, you don't. You have a framework, we define it together, and then you ensure the content is there, and the promotion is planned to bring your users and customers on board. The pushing products, yeah, because when you launch it, you don't have a lot of content. So people were, we were all thinking we should put some of our contents. And then you think, no, we should think about involving very early. And this is very uncomfortable because you have a platform which is not ready. Again, we had 3 months. So you're still building on how you will articulate everything, and you have to bring external people, inform them. So for us, it was the people who were really active already on our existing forums and our universities and partners, and you have to tell them as early as possible, even if it's not ready, even if you're still updating. We are working on this, can you help, and bring them on board, involve them as soon as possible. Because in fact, with such a platform, all the features are there, so this is not really the things to worry, but making sure the communication is there, people are involved at the right stage, and building the link with internal stakeholders, which was something we were not doing before, is also something very important. And we did it, yeah. Exactly at the time and date that was planned. Yeah, I'm very proud, yeah. This was a big thing also in the company, because nobody believed we will deliver on time, so no pressure at all, neither. But we did it exactly at 5 o'clock on the 5th of December. I will really remember the day. I can tell you everything I did this day. We decided to go for a soft launch. We could have done a big launch, but soft launch was very important because we wanted first to see our existing users of forums, what they think, talk to them first before bringing new people. Because it was with them, we were making a changing for them first, and it was very important to see how they react. So the first reaction, I have it, I think I will print it and put it in my office, was, thanks God you shut down this awful Microsoft-ish old platform, blah, blah, blah. So I was, oh, thank you. Didn't pay anybody to say that, but I still really, it has been used very widely. So yeah, we did really a soft launch, informing our internal user, which made a big boost on our traffic, which made our January things less good in terms of analytics. You need to think about this as well. But it's just the beginning. It's out, and then we have everything to start, in fact, because we need to bring users, we need to create activity, we really need to involve more and more users. We are doing reporting, so you know that management like this, and we involve a lot. So now we are bringing new people on board. In fact, because now that it's there, they can see it. They can understand a little bit more the principle. It's easier than slides to show them, hey, have a look, check, and understand. So now we have the sales and marketing coming because they say, oh, but my customers are here. Yes. Or my customers should be there, which is what I prefer. And we are really working with them to bring them. So we did. We have a big event in Germany, which is called Embedded World. And what we did was really the first promotion action by bringing them on board. We did a contest. So we asked our users to share some projects they were doing around our products, to share 60 seconds video. And the one who will have the maximum votes will win a 3D printer. It worked very well. So this was very good activity. It's something we want to do more. And as I said, we have a lot of makers. In the things we are also starting to do now, it's to do an ambassador program. Because we have these key users, we have some people who have really helped us and be active and as a users, customers and universities. So we want to bring to do an ambassador program where these users will really be active and will really help us and will be recognized for what they are doing and to empower them more to use our community. So it's something we are setting up right now. And how we do this, internal communication, we are using also the community to create private groups. It's an external community, everything public, but private groups of center of interest, like the ambassadors, like the moderators, like the ST employees if they want to have training. And it was...
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah. And we keep, by the way, the weekly call with the core team because we are following up everything we've done since the beginning and seeing how it evolves, new ideas, what lesson we are learning, because now it's 4 months and 5 months, and we are really, it's a good timing to change. And it's one thing that I also want to say is when we launched it, we saw some of the things we thought not working, and some people were, you need to change it. And I will say no. Leave it the time for users to get adapted and to understand and become more customized, I will say, and really use it. So don't change everything too quickly because we need to give time to learn because it's so easy to go and change, but then it doesn't work. I mean, you cannot really develop. So time is also an important thing to learn and be really adaptive, but at the same time not too quickly. So what were the lessons we learned so far? Because, as I say, it's just the beginning. We really need to be on the objective. What is our strategy? What we want to achieve ST as a company with this community? And for us, it was really our users and partners, what they are doing with our products, what our universities are giving courses on our products, and it's about them, not about us. And then the tools, it helps really to use the tools in the right way and to set it up with a goal in mind. Clarify the roles and expectations internally, because you have very enthusiastic people, everybody wants to do everything, and it's not easy when you have, a short period of time to launch something, you tend to use everyone, but then after, when things got set up, if you start to change, it can be a little bit difficult. So roles and expectations need to be very clear up front. Have a dedicated community manager. Did I talk about this?
You're going to be assaulted.
And it will be fine because I'm dying on this. I'm not only community manager at ST, I'm doing few things like social media, integrated campaigns for all our products, and community manager and content marketing and advertising as well. So it's really looking for it, and be prepared to change and update, because there is the idea first, then there is the feedback from the users. Now we really start to receive feedback from the users, and we need to learn with them. Doesn't mean that all what they say we will do, but at least we are listening, exchanging, and now we have this platform where it's really new for us. We can really exchange with them. I can really ask them the question, but what do you mean? Which before was not possible, because I didn't have the platform to do that. But now if they make a comment, I can really interact with them and bring them on board and exchange. And then it's why we want to bring these private groups to even develop further. And really the key things, it's really to involve the right people at the right time for the right activity. Because here we had really changing team, and we've been very agile, because otherwise it's very difficult. You have too big team, and you can not really be agile. You have some people bored because they are here, they don't know why. So it's very important to use the right people and at the right moment for the right activity. And that's all I like to say. And I just want to add something based on this is, I'm back from Jive, and Jive, the theme was powering, sorry for my accent, second one, powering, powering, it's difficult word, powering human connection. And I really think it's one of the key messages I will say is our community is a platform, is a software platform, but it cannot work without this human interaction. It's between building the bond between internal, building team internally, and then building team externally, where people we don't necessarily face. Nonetheless, we cannot have university on board if we don't know them. It's the same with partners. So we shouldn't underestimate. This is really a key thing that the platform is an enabler of things that already exist. So human interaction is really key. Thank you very much.
I need the microphone. Isn't she awesome? I want you to be my boss. Can I work for you?
Yes, I have a job open for community manager. I have many things. Thank you.
We can help you find one.
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Thank you very much for this wonderful talk. We'll have time for questions for Laura just before lunch, if you're okay with this, Laura. Yes, thank you. And now time for questions for you, because you finished ahead of time. I think it never happened to me in any conference ever. So we have time for questions. So where is the mic helper? We have a mic helper. Alessia! So who has questions for, was such a challenge. I mean, awesome job, and getting done on time. I mean, I can't believe how hard it was. I don't know who would like to start with questions, so I'm going to handing over the microphone to Alessia, who's going to handing over the microphone.
There's a question here.
Thank you.
Hello, thanks a lot. It was really interesting. Actually, I have two questions. First, I'm sure because this is an open world where your forum was more,
Not more, was closed.
Yeah,
Yes.
was closed before.
Yeah.
How did people react internally? And what did you use to make them change? Because I mean, what was your key point to get there?
Yeah.
And your ambassador program, is it about your clients or is it about,
Okay. So we'll answer for the ambassador. Ambassador program is about the active users on the community, so customers mainly, or students at university, people who are really active. They are really helping in answering technical questions, in helping others in the community. They are very helpful, telling them you should do that. So we want them to be recognized. They ask for it, by the way, as well, some of them. But we really want them not only to have, because we have gamification, a number of points, but to have a special badge and to be really part of, like some of our employees, and recognized for their expertise. Because it has value, because somewhere, if they are recognized, they can... So we want them to be recognized and that to be visible, so we are working on this. And your first question.
Yeah,
Did I answer this
yeah,
one?
Just about the ambassadors, how did you choose them, or how did you? Because
So,
you didn't have that before.
This year, because we didn't launch it yet, and I think what we will do is to open for people. So we will really not take necessarily the people who are the most active, but we will ask to the community who wants to be an ambassador and what it means. So they need to take the engagement that they will be active, that they will help, and we are defining some guidelines. So first the idea was, let's just take the most active users, but now it's more, no, let's define a framework, and it has to be an engagement. It's not, hey, I have the badge, now I go. No, it's really something where they need to, and if they want to leave, they will have also to inform us so that we can find a replacement.
Great idea. Yeah, the first one was, what
I did? Okay, I have nobody from my management here, no? Okay. No risk. Okay. In fact, first there was this group with the makers, these divisions, they were really eager to have it, and they represent a lot inside the company. So they were really a strong helper in saying, we need it for our business. This was key. Second was, when we did the competitor analysis, just nicely shows that everybody else, more or less, of our key competitors has already it. So summarize, look, we are late there. But then they were still to be convinced, because they were very worried, as you say, about, but if there is bad things writing that customer wrote and everything, we say they could already put it on the forums. They don't. So, and if you look at competition, people are not taking time to put, and then we can still moderate, which is, so we have a moderation system in place because we had a spam issue in January, which removed a little bit of flexibility right now, but otherwise the idea was we don't really need to worry. So yeah, this spam issue was about black magic. If everybody's looking for a phone number, I know it by heart, but so we put some moderation because we need some time to highlight the newcomers if they are spammers or not. But otherwise, no, we explain that people usually don't do that. I mean, they have their names, they have to register with their company, even if it's not visible, we know them. So, I mean, you cannot just come and do bashing, and it's not, in our industry, it's not thing people do. So we show example, we show that competition already had a community and the example of what was happening there, and we use internal stakeholders as a supporter to say this is what we need.
So this was a great question. For the next questions, make it shorter, please.
Maybe my answer should be quicker, but I like to explain, so.
We have 5 more minutes. Thank you. Now I discourage everyone to ask questions.
What do you see to be the key challenge for your next community manager?
No challenge. Very easy job. No worries. No, not boring. It's really, there are several, but the key challenge will be to find regular good ideas to bring users on board, to build this interaction, because we are just beginning, we are just starting, So we really need to develop this. For us, it's a new approach, but internally people are really eager to do it, so there is not a big challenge to bring people internally, but it's really how we can bring users and really develop this community and have our customers using, and not just to ask a technical question. And is to share what they are doing, because it's much nicer when we see what our users are doing with our product than the little black things I show you. You see, they have this nice project, and we really want them to come and show that. I would say it's the biggest nice challenge. It's not boring. No. See?
I have a question. We need a microphone.
Oh, sorry, so there's something behind me. Yes, others first.
Hello. So technical support is always a great foundational offering for an online community. What type of connections do you have for content creation, etc., on the technical support side between the community and the customer support?
We have a different platform for the really technical support where people can enter, this ticket system if they have really something. Here it's really, so they can ask questions, of course. They can share programs they've developed or these kind of things. And what we are doing also is bringing the frequently asked question we have on the ticketing system to a knowledge database. So this is a kind, from the technical support, this is the kind of things, and what we see now following up the contest we've done is more and more people asking questions about the projects. How did you do that? How did you do that? Which is what we really want to develop more, is how you can, because, I mean, these little black things, which are integrated circuit, you can do so many things with them. It's just the beginning. So it's good if people can see, oh, I can do that. How did you do that? I would like to do it. So this is, let's say, the three approaches we will have. Did I answer your question? Okay, thank you. No?
So how many platforms does your company have now where customers can have access? And the reason I ask that question, is it getting confusing now for your customers to know which platform to use to get the information they want?
So we have how many platforms? We have the blog, but this is really stories. Here it's really the acquisition phase that we want. Then we have our main website where they can find all the technical information about our products, the data sheets, all the really features and very technical, detailed things. And the community is really the engagement, so where they can come and exchange with others. So we have, let's say, they are positioned differently with different kind of content. It seems clear to them today, I have to say, but okay, we still need to develop between the community and the online support also, because we have some question internally about, it's more internally, but it's the same. No, it's not the same. One is public and one is private, where you are a customer with a number and you enter a ticket, so it's more complex. No, let's say more complex. It's positioned differently, but yeah, we are still working on the link. Really?
Yeah.
We don't have any issue,
Are there
but
links between the different platforms?
Yeah, we are making links, but
Okay.
we are also, if we didn't see any issue, but I think we still need to work on this part. It's not negligible. Yeah.
Thank you for the questions. We have one more question, please. Whenever you ask a question, just introduce yourself. Just say your name or your company or, whatever, but just say your name if it's possible. One last question, short question, thank you. And then Eileen, she's been coming on stage.
No, there's one question there.
Merci. Hi, I'm Ernesto Izquierdo from the ICRC, International Committee of the Red Cross. I had a question. You're engaging people from external. If I log onto Twitter and I tweet to STMicroelectronics, will this question go into your feeds, into your forums? How are you connecting Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter to your internal capacities and manage these internal-external exchanges?
I think this, not, I cannot hear you, sorry. No, I cannot thank you for this question. Okay, we can go and see you. Okay, on social we are very basic for now. We are really pushing. Now I've managed to convince that we should go a step further, and we are also developing this activity with the right tools to listen and answer, which we are not doing so far, I have to say, because in my team there is only one person for all ST handling this. So it's mainly just pushing, and we push the same thing on our platform, which is not at all best practice, but we needed to do this for several reasons. So we are developing this. Today there is no link, but it's a great idea. I think there is a possibility to put some feed, so we need to think about it. But today we are not, to make it simple. But thanks for the idea.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.